you can measure the moisture content in your soil. Now this soil moisture sensor is in interface with LM393, so you can also get an analog as well as and digital output from the sensor. So basically 4 pins, VCC ground, digital output and analog output. So we'll be needing this analog output. So we need to route this analog output pin to one of these analog input pins to your Arduino. So let's get started with the connections. I'll just this thing here. You may need some male to male connectors like this. 5 volts to the Arduino. Ground goes just beside the ground to the 5 volt input pin of, and your analog output, which goes to the analog input of your Arduino. So I'll be writing the program for A0 pin, that is analog in of this Arduino, and we'll get some dry and wet soil for testing. So let's get started with the programming with the help of this USB. And before we start programming, let me tell you a few things about this LM393. You also have a potentiometer, so anytime you feel like adjusting the values, you can turn and twist this with the help of a screwdriver. And the moment you turn on, here we have a surface mounted red LED, so that will glow. So it's a better notification to have an LED. So let's get started. Check, check. Well, here is a program for your soil moisture sensor. Very simple program, few lines of coding. And the void setup will be giving serial.begin at 9600 to pop the serial window open, and int sensor value analog read A0. Since we have connected our sensor to the analog pin, that is A0, we'll be receiving a sensor value ranging from 0 to 1023, as you can see here, and we'll be printing the sensor value with the code serial.println at a delay of 100 milliseconds. So this sensor value is printed delay of every 100 milliseconds. Now as you can see, I have got a glass of water over here and a soil moisture sensor. Now what this soil moisture sensor does, it basically gives the moisture content of the soil. So moisture is basically water, so water is enough to test this soil moisture sensor. I'll just immerse this to fork or prong sort of things into this water, and you can see the change in the value over there. Right now it's completely dry, so let's see the change. There you go, you can see the value falling. I'm immersing it further down, the value is falling more and more. So complete wet, it gives a value of 340 or so. Now I've bring it out, you can see 1023, dry again. So if you're testing sand, I think it will be giving a value of 1023 or something, and wet soil will give you a value of 410 or 400 around. So there are various parameters in the Arduino code. You can map your